Hey, welcome to Studio Stories. My name is Kelby Ray. I play steel guitar and bass in the Cadillac Three. Born and raised in Nashville, and been playing instruments all my life, been playing guitar all my life, and I'm here to just talk about my experiences. Early in my career, I basically was just playing around in, all age clubs in Nashville. I mean, if you want to go pre-career, I mean, just, almost garage band stuff, jamming with friends. We played all ages clubs in Nashville. And slowly after college, probably in my mid-20s or so, started a band with some good buddies, and we just kept playing shows and kept writing songs and trying to make a name for ourselves in and around Nashville. And next thing you know, we got signed to a record label, go into the studio for the first time. Actually, the first time that I ever went to the studio was probably when I was 15 or 16. A friend of mine, his dad had a studio in an Airstream trailer actually in Nashville here, and you get mic'd up, and it's the first time, it's nerve-wracking. You don't really know what's going to happen, and somebody hits a record button, and you think you have to get it all done in one take, and then you realize that it's not the 60s, and you can actually kind of cut and paste and do a little bit more stuff, and realize, just understanding how the whole studio situation works. And, it can be a lot of fun. It can be a little bit nerve-wracking, but, so starting off, learning that at a young age before we ever really started the career path in being a full-time professional musician, gave me a little bit of an anchor to understanding how to be in a studio, how to record, how to work well with others, how to listen to other people. I mean, I think when I was in college, I knew that college wasn't 100% for me. I went in a big way because it's what my mom wanted me to do. And I knew when I was in college that I wanted to be a professional musician. I didn't know exactly what that meant. I just loved to play. I loved to perform live. I loved being in the studio. And when I started a band with some friends in my mid-20s, and we started playing regionally and locally around Nashville just all the time, just trying to make it work. The effort and work that we put into playing as much as we could and writing as much as we could, it really showed that that's really what we wanted to do. And that's when I realized that I wanted to do that for my career. And I was good at it. It was fun. And, it's creative. I'm an artistic person, creative person. It's a lot of fun to work on songs, learn how to write and record songs, and tour, and do it in a way to where it turned into an actual full-time job. The biggest revenue generator for a touring artist is merch. That is the biggest thing. I mean, you've got to play shows to keep the bus rolling and keep all the, keep everything, keep the train rolling down the highway. But I mean, really where we make more of our money is, people showing up and buying a t-shirt. I mean, all that money pretty much goes straight into our pockets. It's been hard the last few years. A lot of people have kind of shied away from going to shows. That's coming back in a big way. We just are, we're jumping back on the road actually right now. We're out on tour. And, we need people to show up. That's the biggest thing. And, coming back more than once, telling your friends, and buy a t-shirt. That's the biggest way you can help an artist that you like. Wearing my own t-shirt, by the way, a little shameless self-promotion here. One of our songs, Sabathar and Cornbread, the Cadillac Three. Go check us out, thecadillacthree.com. /tour for tour dates. Bam, I'm out. Yeah, we've got some vinyls out. Actually, all of our albums are on vinyl. Any new stuff that we put out is definitely going to come out on vinyl. I think vinyl is definitely, it's come back in a big way. I mean, you can see that in the numbers, but there's something about just having the physical product. I think a big problem that's happened in the last 20 years is getting away, even from having CDs and you have some artwork, it got smaller and smaller. I mean, tapes were small. The artwork got real small. CDs, they were only like this. But I think there's something about playing a vinyl and flipping the sides and being able to look at the artwork and having the insert where you've got lyrics and you can actually sit there and read it, and it's in a big print. I mean, I think that was missing for a long time. and it's made its way back, but we'll definitely keep putting out vinyls for sure. Our fans constantly ask for live albums. That's definitely something that we have in the back of our brains. And we don't tell everybody. We record a lot of our shows. We just haven't put them all out. The biggest thing is trying to figure out which performances of which songs are going to be the best ones to put on a live album, and we're real picky. So that's been our biggest issue about figuring out how to put out a live album. But it's definitely something that we would want to do, and I like listening to live stuff. I like the bands that actually put out the albums just as they are. Like Pearl Jam did that whole series of 20, every show from that tour or something. They had like 25 live albums come out from that tour. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if we would sell 25 live albums from one tour, but maybe one of these days we'll put one out. Yeah, set lists for us are kind of fun. We kind of come from the jam band philosophy of set lists where we actually were all big Fish fans back in the day. And if you look at their sets, they're different every night, and they might start, with the same song. Every once in a while, you can kind of guess what maybe one of the first songs are going to be, maybe what one of the last songs are going to be. But in the middle, they would change it up. So we kind of have that mentality. We literally don't write set lists. We haven't in years, and we kind of talk about. We'll be on the bus 5 minutes before we go on stage, and what do you want to open with tonight? I don't know, and we'll pick a song, maybe the first two. And then we just get up there and wing it from there. I think it's fun for us. It's fun for the fans. And, usually there's groupings of songs. Like if, Neil calls something on the fly, or drummer, he'll kind of motion over like, hey, let's play whatever next. And there might be the next two songs or something. I know what's coming up after that. So we kind of go through the show like that and kind of wing it the whole time. But we have kind of an interesting way that we do that on stage. Actually, our fourth member that's on the side of the stage, Brandon, our guitar tech, he's standing over there by Neil. He kind of got eyes on him, and Neil will be playing in the middle of the song, and he'll mouth to him what the next song's going to be, and he'll get the guitar ready. And then Brandon will got a microphone to talk to me in my in-ears, and he'll tell me what the next song's going to be. Toward the end of that song, he'll grab the guitar, take it to Jaron, tell Jaron what the song is, and we kind of do this like dance. And that's how we figure out what the next song's going to be, which is very abnormal. I don't think anybody else probably does it like that. But it keeps us on our toes, which in turn keeps the audience on their toes, and it makes it more fun for everybody. Man, if I was going to listen to a live album of ours, I don't even know what my favorite song would be. Man, I don't know. Honestly, that's a good question. Right now, because if we were like right in the middle of a run, it'd be like, oh, our favorite song right now. It changes all the time, really. I mean, whatever my favorite song is this month, we might get tired of that after a few months and be like, oh, this new one's favorite. Usually new songs are the more favorite ones to play for us because it's new, it's fresh. But I love all of our songs. I love playing everything. A lot of the songwriting for our band happens on the road, on the tour bus. We'll be sitting in the back, and Jaron might have a guitar, and he'll sit there and kind of be coming up with something, maybe hear a melody in his head, and he's got GarageBand going on the computer. A lot of our stuff just gets done on GarageBand, at least the demos of songs and the meat and potatoes of the songs. And, we'll take that idea, and maybe it's, most of the lyrics are there, most of the riffs are there. We'll take it into the studio and, record the live drums over on top of it. And I think a big thing of learning how to arrange a song, how to finish up a song in the studio, and how to come up with cool parts and sounds is really like being open to all ideas, listening to everybody else's ideas, and don't be afraid to speak up if you have an idea, even if you think it might be kind of stupid, which happens to me sometimes, but sometimes it's a great idea, or something. I might hear something that nobody else hears, or vice versa. And, we kind of get in there with most of the idea ready to go, and I think we kind of flesh it out when we're in there. And and the biggest thing, collaborating, in the studio is having your ears open. Basically, don't talk too much. Listen and be in the moment and try to be, listening to what's going on and trying to be helpful with the situation. If you don't hear anything, just let it be. And, if you hear something you think's cool, just try it. I think that's the only way to really do it. Just kind of try things and see what happens. You would think I would have at least one thing that popped in, and I think if you keep messing around with stuff until until the right sound, it might be the right sound that happens, whether you're playing with pedals on a pedal board, or, you know, somebody might play something just the right way, or just this, it's something sounds cool. You kind of have to just keep messing around until things work. Trial and error, basically. But man, as far as a aha moment, I don't know about an aha moment, but I try to listen for cool little overdub parts. I mean, if it's just something that you might hear on you know, something that's panned way to the right, that's just like a little, you know, some kind of little melodic thing that's going to stick out, or it might be just one or two notes, but I know that it's going to stick out just enough, and it's, you know, something that's kind of signature me, that I can put my stamp on in just that one moment of the song. That's happened quite a few times, where it might just be a lick, you know, something that's Jerry Douglas-y or something. It's just a real quick little slide thing that I ripped off from him or something. I try to throw those in as much as I can. And you can't. And the other part of the equation, I mean, you've got the artist in the studio, you know, or artists. I mean, we're a band, so you got everybody in there with ideas, and everybody's trying to come up with creative ideas and something for the band. But you know, we usually self-produce a lot of our stuff, but I don't want to leave out the engineer and assistant engineer. That's another big part of the equation in the studio. We've worked with Drew Bowman quite a bit on a lot of our stuff, a good buddy of ours, and he's just really good at getting sounds and just kind of, he doesn't talk a lot, and he's turning the knobs and he's doing the thing. And whoever in the moment is doing the producing out of the three of us, it's like, hey, will you turn this up, or maybe try this mic or try this sound or whatever. Everybody's kind of listening together, but having an engineer that can work really quick and get the right sounds, put the microphones in the right place, that is a huge asset to have in the studio. Maybe some artists can do that on their own, but I don't know a lot that can. It's like they need to be the ones in the creative flow. And so having a great engineer in the moment that can work fast, and having an assistant, that's also a big thing. Somebody that's on the Pro Tools and is at the same time hitting all the shortcuts and cutting stuff and, you know, adding the tracks and doing all this, working really, really fast and not screwing up and not accidentally deleting the whole song. You don't want that. But definitely want to give a shout out to the engineers out there and assistant engineers, because they don't always get the love that the artists get, but they're a huge part of the process too. Advice that I would give anybody that wants to be a part of this business. There's a great book out there that there's been many revisions done by Donald Passman, a book called Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business. Get it on Amazon. This is not a sales pitch. It's a really good book. It tells you everything you need to know, kind of in a whole overview of the music business as a whole, and that's a good starting point. Don't be an asshole is another thing. Try to be friends with everybody. Don't dig yourself a hole. Be careful with managers. Be careful with record labels. Don't jump into anything too fast. If you're good and you have something, if you're talented, it's going to end up working out for you eventually. The two biggest things I tell people that move to Nashville or they, want to get started in the business is keep writing songs and keep playing shows. You can't just sit and write songs and not go play live, and you can't go play live and play the same stuff all the time. And you can't just sit in your room and not be productive and not be creative. And if you're a good, talented artist and it's something you like to do, you're in a band with a bunch of talented people that are like-minded, there's going to be, creativity flowing and somebody that's the catalyst that wants to keep creating, keep cranking out songs, keep wanting to book the shows, go out to shows, go meet people, go, find the most important person in the room and try to be their friend. It's not hard to spot if you're, just be aware, be present, and don't be an asshole is the biggest thing. So good luck out there. Thanks for checking out Studio Stories with me, Kelby Ray of the Cadillac Three. You can find us at thecadillac3.com, at the Cadillac Three on socials. Check out my website, kelbyray.com, for an online guitar lesson or some free sheet music. Go check it out.